Hi, welcome to my studio. My name is Brian, and today I've got a two-part video for you, basically. And the first part is an experimentation with watercolor concentrates. The other part is a little bit more philosophical about success. What does success look like? How do we gauge success? Without any further ado, let's jump right into it. When I was in school, I had a teacher one time tell me that the artist studio, is a laboratory. And a laboratory is where we labor, it's where we work. And I think a part of the labor of creativity, the part of creating art is experimentation, trying new things, trying different things out. Now, for me personally, I have to continue to find new and novel things to keep me interested in it. If I don't, the work becomes sort of mundane, and my attention, my desire to create and make things goes to other projects. So to try to get myself to come back to the chair over and over again, I have to find some new and novel things to do that. In this case, what I'm working with is watercolor concentrates. I've used them one time before, but for a project that I'm thinking about here in the near future, I wanted to try and find something that was a little bit faster to saturate than, say, like a regular watercolor. Now, watercolor concentrates have their own qualities to them. They're all dye-based, which means that they move around a lot with water. This Saxagator painting is an opportunity to try some stuff out and experiment. So as we watch the painting evolve on the paper here, I thought I'd take the opportunity to talk about some questions that have been on my mind recently around why do I continue to come back and illustrate children's book characters and tell children's stories and all that. Like, why not just throw in the towel? When I think about this, one of the things that first comes up is that for me personally, this is a necessity. When I was a child, the way that I would express myself was through drawing and painting and making things. It's just the way that I am in the world. So in that light, to not do it is sort of to deny an aspect of myself. And additionally, what I come up with is that as a father, I want my son to have dreams. First off, like have dreams, and then the fortitude and the grit and the willpower to go off and go for those dreams and succeed at those dreams. As a parent, I need to model that behavior. It starts with me. So as I start to think about what my objectives are, my goals are, I'm going to continue to go for it and try to create my dreams into reality, to make my dreams into a reality. Now, I think that this question of coming back to things, why continue to do it, I think it has been revolving around this theme or idea of success for me recently. What does success even look like? How do we gauge it? And how do we become successful? What does that mean? If you're anything like me, it's easy to look through, say, social media and see that so-and-so did such and such and they have success, and there's like all these feelings that come up around that feeling. And I would say that if we can stop for a moment and think about it, we need to first recognize that that person is completely different than us. What we're often seeing is only the outward expressions of what we consider to be success. Herein, I think we can find two different clues to help us later on. The first is that those symbols of success are as defined by us, which means that you're seeing something, you're thinking like that, I think that's successful. Not everything is, right? But those things are. So that's interesting to see. But also, if we dig a little bit deeper, what I think we'll find is that there is this external expression of success, but also an internal feeling of it. So there's an internal success and an external success. Now, when I look back on my own career and think about when I have felt that I was successful, one project looms large on the horizon, and that's a project that I did with Fool's Cap Press called The Story of the Fisherman. Well, I'm not going to go into the whole details of that whole project, but suffice it to say that at the time that I was working on that project, there was no guarantee that it was going to go on to be the wild success that it was. At the time, I was simply just focused on doing the best work that I could do at that time. By the end of the project, we had created something that I was incredibly proud of. Before there was any external feedback about success, I had an inner sense that it was like something really wonderful. I think that it's important to note that that came before any sort of external successes started to come back from that, which I think brings us to the third clue about success, and that is that it is a feeling, and this feeling, it comes before the symbols of success start to find us. And like every other feeling, of course, it's transitory. So it's a state of being, it's a way of being in the world. Now, what can we do with these ideas that success is defined by us, that there is an external, internal signs of success, and that the idea that success is a feeling? I'm sure you're going to come up with your own conclusions, but for me, I think it's necessary to create the conditions under which this feeling of success can grow and blossom. So what are those conditions? What those conditions are, we'll have to wait for another video. For now, we're bringing this painting in for a landing. I hope you've enjoyed watching the painting come together, and that these questions give rise to some interesting questions in your own creative life. I certainly would love to hear what you think in the comment section below. But I want to thank you for taking the time and giving your attention to me, this video, and to please remember, of course, to smash that bell icon and subscribe and like and do all that. I am going to start creating a series of videos that are related to this character, the Saxagator character, so watch for that in the future.